before we go into for the budget itself, we have the mayor here. Mayor, did you want to say something, or here for? I should have called on you right before the meeting started. I was going to sit through all our business meetings. As courtesy to any elected official, I should have done that. I'm sorry.
Just kind of want to address the measures. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to my chief and the guys that passed this EMT training. I think that's a plus for the community, no matter where they're at, because I think that's a first responder and it's critical. So I want to thank them, thank Joe for doing the training. Again, that's an asset to the community. The second thing I'd like to address is this fire department issue. Want to kind of clear some air on some things that some of you magistrates already know. I had talked with him. I talked to, I think, almost every magistrate except for Jerry. I didn't get with you, Jerry, and I apologize for that, and even Dean Watts. The corporation is a corporation. It's a LLC. So the actual negotiation was not between me and Dean or me and you as a county as a magistrate, because that's not the way that works. It is a corporation, and my negotiations was with the chairman of the board. That started out with Neil Powell. This ended up with Stacy over a big whatever they had. But so anyway, that continued on, and it's gone up to a conclusion at this point. If you have any questions, that's where that's at. And if you felt like you were excluded, you were not. It's just that the negotiations was between me and the chairman of the board. So
the only question I've got, John, is you pretty much said this or that, and they couldn't do this or that without fiscal court. I mean, that's why I said what I said.
Well, I don't know. Well, and I have told. Going through negotiations, Keith, there have been a couple of different chairmen of the boards, and to be honest with you, I don't even know who I was negotiating with.
I'm not fully educated on it either. I'm trying to get myself educated on it every day. So.
Yeah,
and Mayor, to be honest with you, if you weren't on the initial ordinance that we drafted several years ago to allow those dues to go on the tax bills, the average citizen probably doesn't know the step-by-step procedure that it came to be that way. So I did not take any offense to it myself, I assure you that. Yeah. And the other thing is,
but reassure, when these started out with Neil Powell and even with Stacy, and I even told volunteers, go to the masters, throw your equipment on their table, and say, come fight fires with us. We need money, whatever. Because my whole purpose behind this was to incorporate the two departments together as one. This is all for the community. It's not for just me or the county or anything, but my whole purpose of this was community-oriented, community-based for the service, to provide best service for the community. And to provide that is to incorporate that as one and provide a 24, 48-hour fire department. That is my intentions. And to do that, you almost have equal pay coming from both sides. Where the corporation right now has been, the last 12 years, has been about $480,000. These are just rough numbers, and right now, the city has had, in the past 12 years, has gone from the same to $1.1 million. So, and it's not about who gets the service, because everybody is eligible to receive the service. If you're stuck in a car in New Hope, who comes to get you out? The fire department's going to come get you. So it's not about who is actually going to get it. Everybody's eligible to get the service. It's about service is what it is. So at that point, I have not received anything about the study, anything like that. The corporation has had a year to get on board. The corporation has known that this was coming out, that the last administration given notice of terminating this contract. It's been a year. And then when I was hired, hired by the people, elected or hired by the people in November, I think it was around November the 12th and 15th, I give my layout. I told what I wanted to do. And then there was a dysfunction within the corporation, and hopefully they'll get that lined out. So at this point, it's waited to coming down to the wire, and I'm not, I don't do business that way. You had a year to prepare, you need to get it done. So to announce to you guys, I have given a letter to my chief of police that he is to resign as the Barstown Fire Chief or resign as the Nelson County Fire Chief.
You mean, okay, you said police chief, but you meant.
Or, I'm sorry, the Fire Chief, yes.
I was gonna say-
I was gonna say, oh, wait, let her-
You can't get rid of it. You can get that.
You did say police.
I
That
correct
caught my
myself.
attention.
So I'm in fire. I'm thinking about police.
I
I'm still in police week, the Memorial Week for police, but
Yeah.
no. So I've issued a letter to my fire chief, Marlon Hire, to either resign from this Barstown City Fire Department or resign from the corporation fire.
Can you still be a volunteer for the corporation side?
That right now is, he will
I
be
mean,
an
that's almost
employee.
impeding on his civil rights.
I don't know. I mean, anybody can volunteer.
That's what I'm
I
talking
don't have a problem with it, yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with city functions.
I understand.
He may be your chief. I haven't got a response from him yet.
You're not in it. Corporation.
Or corporation,
Non.
not your chief, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
Corporation.
I'm trying to separate that, and it's hard to do because we've always been supportive of the corporation fire departments in all areas of the county where we can. And so I'm trying to separate that, but I'm gonna go back to the funding disparity that you've discussed. There is absolutely no doubt that the fire protection in the city limits of Bardstown is that's really improved over the years by the volunteer side and the paid staff side. The funding by adding paid firefighters to your operations, I guess the short sight was that how are we going to fund a full-time 3-shift type of thing? Never did. Let's talk through maybe down the road. And this community has always been blessed to have a lot of volunteers that show up and do their job and do a great job. And you know, I hate to see the firefighters get involved in the real political side of this issue, and that's the money side of the issue. Because these guys are firefighters to be a firefighter. Just like a policeman want to be a policeman. A policeman can make a lot more money doing a lot of other things many times.
I agree.
But they want to be policemen, and likewise with firefighters, they want to fight the fires and they don't want the politics side of it to come out. But as I discussed with you and Councilman Hagan in our meeting a couple of weeks ago on this issue, there's somewhere along the line there has to be some value given to the citizens of the county for paying the city's occupational tax. Somewhere along the line, there has to be some value for the $500 that I pay to the city for my occupation, $480, whatever I pay right now range. So it has to be some value given to all those taxes that are paid to the city. And, you know, we want to, even though we live outside the city, we want to be a part of the community. We're a community. And so there, I would think that anywhere from 60 to 75% of that city occupational tax is being paid for and being brought in from citizens that don't live in the corporate limits. They work in the corporate limits, don't get me wrong, but they live outside the corporate limits. So I would hope that the city council would give some value to that when you're saying that the disparity in the funding mechanism is that. Now, you can't, in my opinion, you cannot pick and choose where you place tax dollars, unless it's a gas tax that goes for the roads, unless it's a tax that's on an ambulance service. You can actually have an ambulance tax, unless it's a water district tax, a sewer tax. Then yeah, that money has to be specific. But when you start talking about general taxations, general fund tax and occupational tax funds, unless it's specific in the statute, when you initiate the ordinance that is going to be used for that, I think the citizens of the county deserve some credit for helping fund city services. Not utilities, not utilities.
Vice versa.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I mean, more people come to the city,
just had to
out on
say
city streets than probably than they go out.
But we're not talking about streets.
We're just talking
We're talking
about
about services.
Yeah.
We're talking about the streets, our streets are primarily funded by gas tax, and yours are too.
We've added in.
We've all added some,
We've added in
because
our
it's just not enough to
tax
do.
rate for
Yeah, we've all added some. So I would think there should be some value put in that when you look at this big picture.
that. Well,
Hey, look at the big picture, I think.
I do.
And down the road, 24/7 fire department, I'm not sure that this community is big enough at this point for that.
Well, my thing is.
For payment.
If my time's wrong, but if during the day your run time is about, what, minute and a half?
Under 2 minutes.
Under 2 minutes,
And you're on the road.
and you're on the road. At nighttime, it's 15 to 18 maybe?
After 4 o'clock, it increases to 8 minutes, just a little bit more, you know, exact numbers.
Or then if it's later at night, it's
Midnight to 4 a.m., it's pushing it to 12 minutes.
12, all right, so let's say
Oh, I
about
understand.
15.
Oh, we understand that.
The only thing that I'm trying to.
I understand that where I live,
Yeah.
if it's 20 minutes, I understand that because I live a little bit further out.
20 minutes? No,
I'm
you'll
fine with it.
be there quicker than that.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is the only thing that I'm trying to prevent is just like police services. The only thing I'm trying to prevent is another Guthrie Drive incident. That's what I'm trying to do. And you can what if it all you want, but if we could have got there earlier, or if we could get there at this time, can we say this much? Can we do this much more? And it's emergency services.
I understand.
And that's why I'm at. So, if you want me to, I'm gonna throw it back in your lap, since it's on you. I'm gonna, how much are you willing to give to the corporation to keep this together and to make this 24/48 fire? You don't answer today, but you.
If you wanted to fully fund a full-time fire department 24/7, you're looking at a budget.
It's not 24/7, it's 24/48. That's the way they look at it. So,
7 days a week, have fire protection, 24 hours a day. Just like your police department, just like your EMS station. You're looking at a budget anywhere from $2 million to $3.5 million to make that work. To make it work, right.
the question is, it's not.
And we're already at $1.7 million or
How much
so.
do you want to
Between
put
the
on
two of them,
emergency
$1.5 million.
services? How much do you want to put on public safety? Is there a dollar amount?
If the citizens that live on Balltown Road could get 5-minute service, 3 to 5 minute service like you can here in the corporate city limits, there might be some fairness to that.
And lower our ISO rating.
Yeah. But those are discussions we can have.
It could, because some places in
But-
town,
but
you're
I'm
at
not
9
sure
to
that they
10
can
right
get the
now,
same quality
and I think
service.
You're 24/48.
Because of the
You
drive
got
time, 10
full
15
time,
minutes.
I think it'll lower the ISO rating. Maybe not as quite as much as is out in the back, but it's going to help. But anyway, that's food for thought. That's all I got to
So you're not
say.
gonna give us any credit for our occupational tax money.
But you took that away from the city, I think, because y'all used to give the city some, Bloomfield some, New Haven.
For the ambulance service. Mayor Brown was mayor and he agreed to subsidize the ambulance service when we bought the ambulance service from the private company, and that's where that money went.
Anyway, so that's a whole new different thing, but we're gonna move forward with what the city has to do to provide the best care and service for the citizens. And, if you want to look at that, you're more than welcome, but hopefully Mr. Chief Howard will have a response immediately today, correct? And
It's pretty responsive.
And also, I want to assure, just as we're talking about 24/48 service, we're just talking about staffing to have people in the station. This in no way means that the volunteers are not going to be a huge part of these departments. I mean, this is just to get a primary response in the station. Now, I just want to clarify what the mayor's saying here. This is not saying that it will not be a volunteer department. It will still be a combination part of it. Department hugely supported by volunteers.
volunteers are very, very important to this. And the volunteers hopefully will, if you all decide to give or not give, but if not, they can volunteer for both sides.
Well, John, you say us, it's not really us, it's the corporation, as the judge has said. You know, it's not us, it's fiscal court, they're LLC.
Well, I'm asking you if you're gonna give money to the.
They have never.
We have never presented a plan to us at all.
I haven't either. I haven't gotten a counter offer, nothing. Mediation. Mediation, there's nothing to mediate. It's just,
Well, you're asking for an offer, so I consider that meeting.
Yeah, you know, you said you
Well,
offer from the
what
corporation.
I'm trying to do is to include you, because through the news media, it didn't seem like you all were being included. And I know you don't.
I didn't take offense to it.
I know.
I didn't take offense either, I just said, I just wish that we had sat down as leaders and kind of discussed the background history that it had to go through fiscal court. I wasn't aware of that until the judge told me that, because it happened before my
Way
time.
before your time.
Yeah, I had no
But I
idea.
didn't want to step out of that box to the point that my negotiation had to be with the chairman of the board, and that's where it lies at. So, and I'm just here.
I appreciate the explanation.
I'm just here as mayor and here as a.
I like that, I wish you'd done it 6 months ago, you know, and then we'd had time to prepare, probably more so than what we got now. We got 2 months.
The corporation should have been here a year ago.
Well, this thing's been batted around for the last 7
Since
years.
1995.
Yeah, and it just keeps coming back. So it's time to put it to bed one way or the other.
I'll set up a meeting with the corporation and discuss some issues with them.
Mayor, quick question. I'm just curious. How do you feel that separating these two departments gets you closer to your 24-48 protection for the city on? How does that help you reach that goal?
The goal is it can be done. I'm almost sure I got the support of the council. I got the support of my chief and the full-time firefighters. It's doable. But the thing about it is it's just not that. The other thing is it's the equal part of money. It's to do that, you gotta have the money, and we can't do this. We can, and we're gonna do it, one way or the other.
So you're gonna put a second shift on?
And third?
I'm working on that now. Yes. We're gonna do it, but I can't do it off the $120,000 that the corporation gives me a year.
So if you take that away, then you're gonna make that back up.
Well, the $120,000, I really don't get back $80,000 of that, because 20 of that goes to the chief's salary. So $80,000.
Well, I mean, you're getting it just in an indirect way to
Yeah.
help the chief salary.
But there's other things that's gonna happen down the road. I will get the answer.
Appreciate y'all coming.
No, but, and again, I wanna extend the offer, because, in the past administrations, we have, I think, Dean and I talked since Timmy Hutchins left, and we haven't gotten together and broke bread and ate chicken.
We've talked about doing that.
And we need to do that, because we can operate as one closer to that, closer.
So let me switch gears here since I've got you on the floor. I presented you and Councilman Hagan a proposal on the 911 dispatching in verbal context a couple of weeks ago. Have you been able to go any further with any of the council folks on that?
No, not right now. I'm gonna rectify this fire first. I'm gonna move one at a time, because as you guys know, we have the fire department agreement, the interlocal agreement between the rec department, and the interlocal agreement on the dispatch.
See, we technically don't have, the fire department is a
I know, but
corporation, so you kind
I
of,
know,
but we
no,
do have an agreement, written agreement between the city and county on the dispatching.
Yes,
and
but I want to
recreation.
take care of the fire department first. Now, this is a
That
priority.
doesn't really directly affect us until the corporation comes to us.
I'm taking those in order.
Okay, I got you covered.
So, as soon as I rectify that, which will be very soon,
Oh, yeah, 60 days or less.
90.
The fire
Well,
stays
as
the
far as
30th.
the contract with the corporation is up at the end of June,
June, yeah.
June 30th, and, but I'll have this rectified today. So, anyway, so that, and then we will, I'll put him on the spot, but
If you'll allow me, I mean, there's no use in dragging that out. If that's the case, because I've informed the membership last night at the meeting, you know, with that request, it's obvious that we've got a decision to be made. So that decision that the mayor's asked me, we have to look at how's the best way to do that. Obviously, I have to go one side or the other because there's two completely separate departments here that there's going to be. So I will choose to stay with, I've informed the membership, I will choose to stay with the city of Bardstown and hope absolutely to work with whom the corporation puts into play as a chief. It's absolutely critical that as we do this, they put someone in that we can work together to make this transition, and that it's not forced upon the community, that it's done in an organized manner. So if that helps clear things up, I will be presenting the mayor a letter today.
I presume that probably was going to happen. The retirement system and everything else to benefit activity.
I can assure you, and the mayor can assure you that by our discussions as well, that is not what makes my decision.
I understand, but it's important. You got to live.
Well,
I understand that.
I want to explain it, and to do that, just because I look at the two fire departments, and I'll use yours as, we're two big brothers, we've been living together. It doesn't, just because we're going our separate ways, it doesn't mean we still don't love each other. We're just going our separate ways, and we're gonna help each other still. We'll still be there.
Well, John,
There's gonna be some things that will be different.
Mayor, don't you feel like that, like the judge said, the occupational tax that all of us pay, and the judge pays, is not helping you fund this 2448 you're talking about?
Everybody pays the occupational tax, yeah.
Yeah, but
We pay it too.
I don't get to vote for any of you all, but you made it on to all of us. And I'm like the judge, our part of that should be help funded, because you took the cap off that, or you didn't, the previous administration did, to gain an extra $850,000 to $1 million a year. I think it's up to $1 million a year. I heard Mike Abel say
1.8 is the city's revenue projections for the.
But I'm talking about extra.
Extra is about 800, 900,000.
Yeah.
I heard Mike Abel say before he retired that the $75,000 y'all was losing on the gas tax was, the occupational tax was well over exceeding that. So when he said well over, I'm like the judge, I'm 800 to $1 million. And that's coming from residents, some of them city, but a majority of them couldn't vote for any of you, and we're paying it. And what are we getting out of that service? My wife works out tired. She's paying that service. What extra did she get?
She water, sewer, when she was at work.
I pay my water bill.
It all goes into the whole.
I know, but do you see, you saying you're acting like the county or the outside residents is not paying their fair share.
No,
Y'all put a tax on us, the city council, mayor and the city council put a tax on citizens that could not vote for any of you all.
I understand.
My wife was very upset.
I have business owners inside the city limits that gripe every day, says that we're spending taxpayers' money, but they don't have the right to vote. Well, let me do this. If you want to give them that right to vote, merge the governments to one government. Urban County government, just one government. That would solve it. I mean, everybody has a right to vote and the same taxes. Oh, yeah.
Well, we're muddying up the water.
Mayor, I mean, just to their point, I believe, whenever they raise the taxes, that's the reason they give it. It's because you use police and fire protection in the city limits.
Yeah, but that's not, you
mean,
just can't say it's going to, those taxes are going just to police and fire. It's like the school tax.
Now, past administrations have said that, when you ask them, that's what they'll tell you. That's why we tax you, because you use our police and our fire in the city limits for 8 hours out of the day, you should pay.
Yeah, because we show up to a wreck, the police show up to a wreck, they don't say, are you a county resident? Well, oh yeah, well you're injured, so we have to call the county unit. We don't do that. It's for all the services that the city renders.
I understand that, but what Jeff's saying is both some of the revenue, and again, I contend that 60 to 70% of the city's occupational tax money is paid by non-city residents. The statistics will show you that. And there, so on that $1.8 million of projected revenue, about 1.1 to 1.2 million of that is being paid for by non-city residents. That's a lot of money, not to receive any additional services or have any any say-so. I understand the say-so part about voting and all, that's a different story. But to not get any services that you feel like that, then all of a sudden the fire department disparities, $30 difference or whatever it may be in people's minds, it becomes a big issue, and it's not, I don't think there's any fairness to how you're analyzing.
Well,
And we can disagree, and we'll work to the next thing together. I hope that happens. But we can disagree on that issue, and I will go to my grave with that on my mind.
well, and you all know, county and cities always had different numbers. You know, it depends on who's operating the pencil. And it's always been that way.
And I can tell you also, John, and we own property in town, nowhere on my tax bill do I ever see anything that says fire dues. And the numbers you give, 140, 150, depending on who you listen to, I can't see that as a true dollar amount because my property tax bill is $300. It can't possibly be half my tax bill to fund the fire department with as many other entities as there are within the city government. So are you billing the residents using the numbers saying that you've got a factory out here that's worth $50 million, he's paying $150, and you got a house over here worth $50, paying $150, you know, so there has to be some parity down the line as to, you know, it can't just say that all residents pay X number of dollars when there's nowhere that we can see that dollar amount as taxpayers or as folks from outside the city.
I think Mike, before I was
Mike always scared me because his numbers can be anywhere. Depends on what side of the page.
Well, and it goes for any accountant
That's true.
that wants to do it. They can work those numbers. Dean can work numbers in who's ever favored. Anybody can work the numbers. You know,
But
you know, doing bids. You can work the
The
numbers.
fairness of both sides. Meet in the middle, the fairness is the
But
thing I look
whose
at.
side of the fairness are we on?
In fact, these guys will tell you sometimes, I'm considered to be a city judge a lot of times, because I love the city of Bardstown probably more than anybody sitting in this room.
No, you don't. I do.
I'm
I'm working a whole lot cheaper than you are.
But I'm trying to make a point here that I do look at it, because I represent everybody that's in the corporate limits of the city of Bardstown, New Haven, Bloomfield, and Fairfield. And I do realize that, and anyway, let's have this discussion another day.
Sure.
Just fiscal court, you made your presentation to the court. We will take it under advisement. We will talk to the corporation and take it from there. Thank you. Thank you.
See you.
We can talk about this all day long.
Oh, yeah. Bring the bread and chicken and a Coke, and we'll do it. Thank you, guys.
Dean, just like to say, as the chairman of the corporation right now, you know, we did have some conversations with John Lloyd, you know. We tried to, you know, see if we could take his proposal and see if we could, you know, do some other things with it. A truck replacement schedule that the corporation has come up with for as many pieces of apparatus that we have, you know, a lot of that wasn't able to be given on. I mean, he gave the ultimatum or proposal as accept or reject. That's what we did.
So you've rejected it.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Okay.